What if I told you that learning to be truly happy alone after 60 could open up a new chapter of freedom and self-discovery you never imagined possible? This is not just about surviving alone, it's about thriving in ways you never thought could happen. Stick with me till the end, and I'll show you how. You've lived through decades of ups and downs, and somewhere along the way you might have lost touch with those closest to you. Maybe the children grew up, moved away, or started their own lives. Perhaps your friends have come and gone or passed on, and you find yourself in a place where loneliness feels heavy. At this stage of life, happiness might seem elusive, and the idea of being truly content without the presence of a close circle of friends feels like an impossible dream. But what if that wasn't the case? What if you could find joy in your own company, carve out new paths, and unlock happiness in ways that might even surprise you? There's something magical about reaching an age where you no longer have to answer to anyone, when you no longer feel the pressure of fitting in or living by anyone else's standards. You are in a rare phase of life, one that offers the opportunity to explore your own desires, create new memories, and rediscover who you are. And even if you've lost friends along the way, even if your family is far, even if the loneliness feels overwhelming, there's a way to turn all of that into a beautiful part of your journey. You see, after 60, society often tells us that the best years are behind us, that happiness is something we should chase through other people, through activities, or by measuring ourselves against others. But what if I told you that the secret to true happiness is learning to embrace the solitude you have, not as something to fear or run from, but as a space to breathe, to create, to become more than you ever thought possible? We're not talking about the fleeting comfort of filling up your days with distractions, but about building a life where you genuinely find fulfillment and peace just by being yourself. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of excitement for your own presence, for your own ideas, and for your own choices. This isn't about tricking yourself into being happy or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging the challenges of aging, accepting the pain of loneliness, and still choosing joy every single day. The first step to finding happiness alone is realizing that you are not alone in feeling this way. Many people at this stage of life experience a sense of isolation. It's natural. After all, your circumstances have shifted, and life is no longer filled with the hustle and bustle of work, family commitments, and social obligations. The question is, how do you deal with this change? How do you create happiness without relying on anyone else? Let me take you through 7 real-life strategies, each one building on the other, to help you navigate this journey. These are not theoretical ideas, but actionable steps you can start today. No matter where you are in life, whether you've just entered your 60s or you've been there for a while, this guide is meant to be your roadmap. The first thing we need to tackle is your mindset. If you still think that happiness is something that will arrive through external validation, through relationships, or by achieving goals tied to others' expectations, it's time to rethink that. True happiness starts with self-acceptance. It starts by acknowledging the fact that you are already whole and worthy of joy, just as you are. Now, this isn't to say that relationships and human connection are unimportant. They are, after all, essential to a fulfilling life. But when we place the burden of our happiness on others, we create a shaky foundation. You can still love your family, your friends, and people around you, but your happiness should never be reliant on them. It should come from within. The second step is about rediscovering purpose. In your 60s, life might feel like it's slowing down, but it's actually the perfect time to focus on what truly matters to you. Think about the things that once gave you joy, the passions that you let fall to the side in the rush of life. Was there a hobby you always wanted to try, a skill you always wanted to master, or a project you never completed? This is the time to pursue those things. Don't wait for the right moment. Your moment is now. One of the most effective ways to rediscover purpose is through creativity. Creativity doesn't have to mean picking up a paintbrush or writing poetry, though if that speaks to you, go for it. It's about finding ways to express yourself, to solve problems, and to engage your mind. Whether you're gardening, cooking, learning a new language, or even taking up photography, whatever feels right for you, creativity can breathe new life into your routine and provide a sense of accomplishment. Step 3 involves staying physically active. Now, I'm not talking about pushing yourself into intense workouts or marathon training, unless you're into that. If so, great. But moving your body, even with simple stretches or a daily walk, can release endorphins that boost your mood. The mind-body connection is undeniable. Exercise has been shown to combat depression and anxiety, making it a powerful tool for boosting happiness at any stage in life. The fourth strategy is cultivating gratitude. The simple act of focusing on what's going right rather than dwelling on what's missing has the power to transform your life. Start small. Keep a gratitude journal where you list 3 things you're grateful for each day. Over time, your brain will start to shift from focusing on what you don't have to appreciating what you do. This mindset shift is foundational to finding happiness on your own. The 5th step is engaging in social opportunities that align with your interests. While we're not talking about forcing yourself to attend every social gathering, it's important to stay engaged with others in ways that make sense for you. This might mean joining a book club, taking a class at a local community center, or volunteering for causes you care about. These spaces allow you to meet like-minded people and form connections without the pressure of needing a large social circle. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking, I'm too old to start something new. But let me tell you this, there is no age limit to growth. In fact, later in life, you have the unique advantage of experience and perspective, which can make learning something new even more rewarding. Embrace that. Step 6 is about embracing solitude as an opportunity for self-reflection. Often we fear being alone because we're unsure of what we'll discover about ourselves. But solitude can be a sacred space. It's where you can reconnect with your inner self, heal old wounds, and reflect on your values. Meditation, journaling, or just taking quiet moments throughout your day can help you tap into this inner wisdom. The 7th and final strategy is learning to laugh, to enjoy life in the moment, and to find humor in the everyday. Laughter is one of the most healing, rejuvenating forces in the human experience. It releases stress, connects you to others, and reminds you that even in your 60s and beyond, life is still an adventure. As we wrap up this journey, I want you to remember something essential. Being happy alone after 60 doesn't mean you'll never feel lonely or miss your loved ones, but it does mean that you've learned to create a life of purpose, creativity, and joy, regardless of external circumstances. When you choose to find happiness within, you unlock a peace that's not dependent on anything outside of you. So take a moment today, just a moment, and reflect on where you are in life. Then choose to start this journey of finding fulfillment on your own terms. The best part? You don't have to do it alone. We're in this together, and with every small step, you'll begin to see that happiness, even in solitude, is entirely within your grasp.